Michigan star defensive lineman, first team All Big Ten, and team captain Mazi Smith has been charged with a felony for a concealed weapon in an incident that happened back on October 7th. So this news all broke this morning leading into the Big Ten championship game that's just a little over 48 hours away from now. So we've talked to a few sources, have a little bit more information than what's being reported out there on what this means for Smith, what Jim Harbaugh knew and when, and why Smith has continued to play for nearly 2 months since this October 7th incident. So we're going to talk all about that, what it means for Michigan, coming up on the Michigan Football Report by Chat Sports right now. The Michigan Football Report is presented by Manscaped. Make sure to use promo code GOBLUE, no spaces, promo code GOBLUE at manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping. They make a great stocking stuffer, the best male grooming products in the game. All right, let's kind of dive more into today's story. The reason we're pushing out a video, frankly, I didn't plan to film anything till tomorrow. So Mazi Smith charged with a felony yesterday in Washtenaw County Court. If you're not familiar with the greater Michigan area, of course, that is the county that Ann Arbor is in. So what we know so far is that he was charged with a felony for carrying a concealed weapon. What's not been reported out there is that he was actually involved in a traffic incident. So the weapon was in his car, apparently, although that's not 100% confirmed on my end, but that's what seems that the tea leaves are reading out there. And there's a chance that this charge ultimately gets dismissed. I'm not going to make a promise on that or what it looks like, but a felony is a very serious charge. So people are asking questions out there about what Michigan knew, when they knew it, what's his status for this Saturday's game, what's his status for his future career at Michigan, potentially 3 more games to go, Big Ten championship game, college football playoff semifinal, and then the national championship game. So we're going to dive all into those details, but first, I want to make sure you guys, if you haven't, if it's your first time watching the show, make sure you subscribe to the Michigan Football Report. We are the only show in all of the Michigan football greater media atmosphere, podcast, radio, TV, YouTube, anywhere that publishes a daily original video. It's the Michigan Football Report by Chat Sports. Hit that subscribe button right below the video. Send that link to a friend as well. It's always youtube.com/Michigan TV. Subscribe as we come up on 23. Actually, I think that number's wrong, but that's no big deal. 20 coming up on 24,000 subscribers. I made the mistake, Jack, not you. We're 23,837. Coming up on 24,000 subscribers. Make sure you hit the subscribe button right now. All right, so diving more into this Mazi Smith felony charge yesterday. So this actually occurred Wednesday, and the Detroit Free Press was the first to report it this morning. As we're trying to get details, put together a show, graphics, producer Jack. These things take a couple minutes here, but we're getting the news out to you as fast as we get it and as we have a little bit more information. So when this occurred was on Friday, October 7th, the day before Michigan, Indiana. Now, what I have yet to ascertain the information on was this late at night Thursday, so technically Friday past midnight, or was it him driving to the Schembechler Hall to get on the bus to go to the airport to travel to Bloomington? Have not got that out, but I actually think that maybe does matter, at least for the way I'm concerned. If he was driving out late at night on a Thursday, whether alcohol or anything like that's included, I doubt it because he didn't get any charges there, but if you're out late at night with a gun, that may change my perception versus the potential, which I think seems more likely that this happened early in the day on a Friday. He got pulled over, and for some reason they either saw the weapon or asked to search his car in some regard. I don't know, but uncovered a weapon in his car. Got a little more information on at least the rumors out there on why he would have this weapon coming up in a second. But what are these charges? What kind of is the outcome here? What could he be facing here legally? This is the statute of the Michigan legislature right there, section 750.227. A person who violates this section is guilty of a felony punishable by imprisonment. So for those of you not English majors, that is jail, prison for no more than 5 years, or a fine not more than $2,500. I almost said $2.5 million. $2,500. So I would expect that ultimately this gets reduced down. He's not going to, I really don't think he will serve any jail time. Maybe a week of house arrest at worst. But this was not an incident, folks, that was as part of any crime. From everything in the limited time I've had to do some back channeling on this, not involved in any crime in any way, shape, or form, potentially outside of a minor traffic incident, speeding or running a red light or something like that. So it's not a violent crime. And we'll talk about the rumors here surrounding why he had that weapon and maybe what was what was the purpose of it here in a second. But I want to know from you guys, right? What is your one-word reaction to this Mazi Smith felony charge in Washtenaw County Court? Go ahead and comment below. It's the pinned comment of today's video. So if you want to, you might get hit with a YouTube ad break here. When you do, scroll on down, give me your one-word reaction, and maybe just two-word reaction if you want to. Scroll back up, and the video ad may be over. All right, so my take on this is, one, I don't like it. It's terrible timing. This has been a dream season for Michigan football fans and players. And Mazi Smith is a captain, and he should he sets the tone. And he's been a great program guy, and typically, from what we're hearing, is a great guy altogether. But rumors are swirling that Smith had a concealed weapon permit previously, but at the time of this traffic incident that resulted in this felony charge, it had expired. And I don't know if it's expired by weeks or months, or it expired back in 2020 and he never got it renewed because of the office was shut down because of COVID or something like that. But from what it seems like, he at one point did have a concealed weapon permit, which would have made this legal. And you've got to go through some training in the state of Michigan to have that happen. So not saying that this is a good incident by any ways, but it all depends on the states in some ways. I'm not going to be an apologist here by any means, but in the state of Texas, where I live, not saying I would do this, but this would not be a crime of any sort. Fresh, you can take a gun in the state of Texas, Dallas, where we live. You can take a shotgun on the public transportation, just stand there with a shotgun. So not saying this is not a big deal by any means. He broke a law in the state of Michigan, resulted in felony charges, but in certain parts of the country, this wouldn't even be charges at all. And if it is, in fact, that he had the license in the past that expired, and it's not involved in any crime, violent crime in any ways, then I think that this is going to be reduced down, and Mazi Smith's future NFL, potentially playing with Michigan, won't be impacted very greatly. What could be impacted very greatly is you this holiday season. If you get going with our sponsor today, it is a Manscaped. Folks, you guys know we've been talking about Manscaped for several years here on the Michigan Football Report. Use that promo code GOBLUE. Get 20% off and free shipping. Got to talk to you about the Platinum Package. I love the Platinum Package, folks. 'Tis the season for clean balls. Fa la 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 la. Our friends at Manscaped are helping you clear the driveway for safe travels this holiday season, if you know what I'm talking about. From stocking stuffers to white elephant gift exchanges, Manscaped's products are the top of every wish list. Manscaped is your one-stop shop for all of your holiday needs, all of your male grooming needs. They have the perfect gift in the Platinum Package. Big-time price reductions, plus you get an additional 20% off and free shipping, folks. Grab some crop mops for your pop, body buffer for your holiday lover. Win this year's White Elephant gift exchange. Great stocking stuffer as well. Manscaped products, the best male grooming. I use the Lawnmower 4.0 and the Manscaped Lip Balm and their shower gel and shampoo conditioner every single day. Go to manscaped.com. Use that promo code GOBLUE. 20% off, free shipping. Awesome holiday stocking stuffer. Manscaped.com, promo code GOBLUE. Ohio State fans, Michigan State fans, Notre Dame fans, anybody in the Big Ten, they're outraged right now. They're outraged. What we have been seeing from Michigan State fans on social. Got a couple texts here. It's like, oh, Michigan State. Well, it took the Michigan State Police and whoever just a couple of weeks to charge Michigan football players or Michigan State players for a minor incident in a tunnel after a game with a felony charge, and 6 guys with misdemeanors, 1 felony. And it took Michigan State Police and Washtenaw County, whatever, oh my gosh, it took them 7-8 weeks to charge Mazi Smith. Ohio State fans are saying, oh, Harbaugh is controlling the police out there and the district attorney and whoever brings these charges against Mazi Smith to make sure he was eligible and was playing against Ohio State. They waited to file these charges until the Ohio State game was over, so Mazi Smith would have been eligible. I think that's kind of ludicrous. I don't think Jim Harbaugh has that kind of power, nor do I think he would use it if he did. I certainly don't think that any Michigan State attorney or district attorney or anything like that, prosecutor, would show their football alliance over doing their job. I think that's conspiracy theorists nevertheless. But I do want to know what Jim Harbaugh knew and when he knew it. If there's a reasonable explanation. I was going 40 in a 25 early in the morning coming to the facility. I've had this in my glove box in a holster, unloaded, and I had a permit, and it expired. My bad, coach. Feel for you. I can see why Jim Harbaugh knowingly would let him continue to play potentially. And even if he talked to his attorney, Mazi Smith has got counsel. Maybe Harbaugh potentially could have talked to the district attorney who brought the charges and just kind of got the full details of it and what it looks like. Sometimes, folks, these things are more procedural. You've got to file the charges, then it gets pled down and it kind of goes away if it's not involved in anything violent or anything like that. So I do want to know what Harbaugh knew when he knew. Now, if Mazi Smith kept this from Jim Harbaugh and tried to hide it, and Harbaugh just found out like the rest of us today, or of course yesterday in court or anything like that, then I do think he needs to be suspended potentially for the rest of the year. But if Harbaugh is known and he made the decision, I'm going to trust what his decision was on this incident. But I'll ask you guys, should Mazi Smith play against Purdue based on what you know right now? What we know right now, I think it's very probable to say that there was no violent crime or crime involved outside of a traffic incident in the use of the gun. So knowing that, should Mazi Smith play versus Purdue? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no down in the comments. I'm going to say no. And as long as all these things continue to be true and we know that Jim Harbaugh allowed him to play, now that charges actually have been filed, they should make him sit out the game against Purdue on Saturday, and he can return for the college football playoff coming up on December 30th, 30 days from now. That would be my suggestion for what Jim Harbaugh does, but we will see in the coming days. So Mazi Smith was just named on Tuesday All Big Ten first-team defensive lineman, and he has played in 7 games since this incident has happened. So going back to the point that I made, he played against Indiana. Next week, Penn State, bye week, Michigan State, Rutgers, Nebraska, Illinois, Ohio State. So he's played. So if Jim Harbaugh has known about this, the only thing that's different is that charges were filed. And so as long as nothing changes informationally for Jim Harbaugh, if he knew, let him play, charges are filed. I think 1 game suspended, the charge actually came. Nothing new comes to light. You can return on our next game, college football playoff semifinal coming up. But we still don't know a lot of things, okay? Jim Harbaugh might not have found out about this right away. Mazi Smith may have not actually had. That might be just a rumor that he had a concealed permit that may have expired. So a lot of details out there. What's not, unknown here is Mazi Smith's production. He has been a multiple-year starter for Michigan. He is named one of the best, I think he was the #1 freak in college football, freak athlete by Bruce Feldman from Fox Sports earlier this year. And he has put on a hell of a season. Now, Michigan's not using him as a quarterback terrorizer or anything like that, but he is stopping the run game of every opponent. And if Michigan, folks, faces Georgia in the national championship game, they need Mazi Smith like you need water, like a duck needs water, right? That's like maybe the thing. Whatever, like Santa Claus needs snow, because what Michigan's been able to do is play 5 and 6 DBs basically every single play and shut down the opposing team's running game with just 5 or 6 players in the box because of Chris Jenkins, Mazi Smith, and others, Mason Graham, etc. So Mazi Smith definitely needed, but I'm not going to say from a perspective of just being selfish. If Mazi Smith committed a crime, then that warrants him being kicked off the team or suspended for the rest of the year, then Michigan should absolutely do it, but I'm not sure if I see that as of yet. The betting odds haven't changed as of yet. Michigan is still a 17-point favorite, as this has been public knowledge for 90 minutes to 2 hours now. So had it changed, had it made a big impact on what the sports books think, this would have changed. So they don't think either Smith. They'll think either he's playing or that him not playing makes no difference in the line against a team like Purdue. Over-under hasn't moved either. It's 52 points. Go down in the comments, though, guys. 8 o'clock not Fox Big Noon, 8 o'clock Fox Primetime on Saturday. Joel Klatt, Gus Johnson on the call. Predict the score, Michigan-Purdue. Jack, does it give you any change in your prediction? You still sticking to 35-14? I'm thinking the same thing. 35-13. I would guess Michigan, what did I say? 31-13 was mine. I'm going to guess Michigan's going to be up 17-7 at halftime, maybe 17-10 in a game they'll probably dominate. And much like the second half, Purdue will struggle to maybe score a field goal in the second half, potentially get 13. Michigan will tack on a couple of touchdowns, and that will be all she wrote for back-to-back Big Ten championships. But let me know down in the comments. As I mentioned, this should not impact this game plan against Purdue. Purdue is not a team that likes to run the ball. Mazi Smith's production won't be necessarily missed. Plenty of guys, Chris Jenkins, of course, Mason Graham can have a bigger role, and others can get in there. Kenneth Grant, I'd love to see what he does with an expanded role should Mazi Smith not play in this game. But in the college football playoff, this would be a huge blow for Michigan. Let's just say they face Georgia in the national title game. Just mention that. TCU, they've got a really strong running game and passing game. USC, let's say they didn't play USC in the first round, but played them in a national championship game. Should they face against Georgia, get the upset victory there? They've got one of the best passing games in college football, USC does. They've got maybe the best or most dangerous scrambling quarterback right now, so you certainly want Mazi Smith to, force him one way. But they've also had an emergent running game. They've had their backs gone over 120 the last 2 weeks. So Mazi Smith, if he is not there for the college football playoff, if Jim Harbaugh decides to suspend him or kick him off the team for this, huge blow. And I think my confidence in Michigan making the national championship game, or at least winning the national championship game, should they make it, would go considerably down based on Mazi Smith not being available. But we should know more, and if we do, we will tell you the moment it has. I don't know if we'll do an exact video for every single one, but certainly on Twitter, and we'll put it on the YouTube community tab. If it's your first time watching, Jack, look, best in the game. He built his entire graphic as we're producing the show. Switched that from a 23 to a 23,000 from 22. My mistake before. Had the graphics department got it. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. We will have a video out. I'm going to put another video out, my preview out later today, funny enough, so you get a 2 for Thursday. We'll have a Michigan Football Report video on Friday, Saturday morning, and then we'll do the post-game video on Saturday night. Sunday morning, 11:45 Eastern, we will have the final college football playoff rankings. You're going to know who Michigan's going to play in the CFP semifinals. So make sure you're subscribed. It is the Michigan Football Report. Until I see you guys tomorrow, go Blue.